Now let's talk about a player that I mean. Like you are a fan of this player. I'm a fan of him as well. But I've said some things in the past that people have misinterpreted. People have taken it to mean that maybe I don't like him. Somebody on Instagram was even telling me, is it because he asked him for interview? He did not give you interview. That's why you have a negative opinion of him. And I'm like, I don't have a negative opinion of somebody, But at the end of the day, I'm always going to tell you guys. You guys know that's one thing about me. I'm always going to tell you what I think. Whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me is another question. I will tell you my honest opinion. The player I'm talking about is Christantus Uche. He had a good performance over this past weekend. I watched the game. I did watch the game. He had 2 assists and he was also instrumental for one more goal. Now, the question that I want to ask, or the question that a lot of people, or the thing that people started attacking me for, somebody left a comment saying, but IoT said he should not be called up because he does not play in midfield, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be honest, I still stand by it. I still stand by it. And it might shock people, but that's the reality. Now, am I saying he should not get called up to the Super Eagles? No, I am not. I am saying I would not call him up to the midfield of the Super Eagles because he does not play as a midfielder. People in the comments talking about he can do a better job than Ndidi. How do you know? Where is the evidence? What proves that he can do even half the job that Ndidi does? You just assume. Some people tell me, oh, look at what he did in Quetta. I don't, like, with all due respect to Quetta, I don't give a damn what a player was doing before he became a professional footballer. Some people were strikers, they became professionals, they started playing them as centre back. So should I call them up as a striker? Bartoszai Samuel was a winger. Should I call him up as a winger in 2025? So that's just always been it for me. And people need to understand that it doesn't mean that I do not like him. It doesn't mean that I don't think he's good. It doesn't mean that I don't think he's better than some people that were called up to the national team. But if I were to draw up a list, I'm not calling him up as a midfielder. No matter how many times people tell me, oh, he plays in midfield, I watch the games. He does not. 90% of the time, he does not. This last game that people are using to talk, he did not play as a midfielder. He played as, you talk, hold on. He played as a forward. If you saw the goals that he created, they came from slightly forward positions. The second assist was a very good pass, deeper in the on the field. I'll give that. But for the 90 minutes of that game, or for the duration that he was on the field, he was running left, right, center in advanced positions. Now, if you want to call him up as a 10, different conversation entirely. We can get into that whether or not we think he's a 10. But if we are talking about calling him up ahead of Indidi, that's where people lose me because they do not do the same job. Based on the evidence that we have seen in his first professional season, they do not do the same job. There is nothing that anyone can show me to convince or prove to me that he can tackle, win the ball back, hold the midfield better than Wilfred Ndidi. And that is not to say that I think Ndidi is still performing exceptionally well. But you cannot just call a guy and say, oh, because you watched him play in 3 matches as a CM, he has a lot of energy. That means that he will do better than he did. To me, it's funny. I also think that, football fans, we always know these football fans are fickle. People move on very, very quickly from certain players. It's unfortunate that Ndidi now gets a lot of disrespect considering how good Ndidi has been for us, considering what he has done in his career, considering the level that he has reached. He has reached the point where now people just want to insult Ndidi every single day. But again, there is no evidence. For all the people that are saying he plays as a box to box, he did not play box to box this weekend. He did not play box to box. Unless you just don't know what box to box is, he did not play box to box. So when people say, oh, somebody said, admit that you goofed, and I'm saying, no, I stick with what I said. When he starts playing CM week in, week out, and he's performing at that level, I will be the first person to come here and say, yes, call him up as a CM. But for the fact that he continues to play in advanced positions, I don't see how he gets caught up ahead of Onyeka, how he gets caught up ahead of Onyedika, how he gets caught up ahead of Indidi. Now, if we're talking about Papa Daniel, that's a different conversation entirely. I did not think that Papa Daniel should have been in the team either. So when people start bringing up, but Papa Daniel made the team, but you're saying he shouldn't make the team. I never said Papa Daniel should make the team. So he's better than some people. We know that the way NFF do their selection, there's always cause for query, etc. But for me, as a CMO, I still don't buy it. And it doesn't mean that I don't like the guy. It doesn't mean that I don't think the guy is a quality player. I think he will still play for Nigeria if he keeps on like this. But he did not. Somebody say he played as an ACM. There's nothing like ACM, he's CAM. And again, that is not the position that he's competing with in the before or Onyeka or Onyedika. Smidlai, you've been itching to talk. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I am just start from the last one you said. I don't think people are disrespecting it. We are judging him based on what he's producing now. And with due respect to him, he did well in the past. We cannot, because of Mika is spoiling ball today. And I say, okay, we should not talk because of what I did in the past. So if you come and spoil World Cup ticket, no,
No, no, no, Smidlai.
no,
Wait,
no, no, no.
this is
I'm
the
just.
reason why I call it disrespect. It's
Uh,
different if you are criticizing fairly. It's
mhm,
different if you are speaking on his performance. It's another thing for somebody to just come and leave a comment laughing, or to just come and leave a comment and say wasted footballer, or
uh,
he should go and play in Saudi. That is disrespect. That is not you judging him based on. That is just you
uh,
coming to
but
blatantly insult a player.
if that person says you go and play in Saudi because of his level now, is it disrespectful?
It is disrespectful because
To say to go and play in Saudi because
see, again, Smith,
oh,
like if you are coming to talk about his performance and you say something about his performance, yes,
mhm,
it's not disrespectful. But when you just come and say, "Oh, go and play in Saudi," what's he doing? Blah, blah, there is no reason. Indeed, he can still play in the English Premier League. That's the reality. Is he
mhm,
going to play for Man City, for Chelsea, Arsenal? No. But he
yeah,
can still play in the English Premier League. Let's not
yeah,
make it seem as if there are no midfielders that are in Premier League that he's better than.
yeah. Okay, let me just go to Uche. I don't think Uche is competing with Fred Didi in that position, or Rafael Onyedika, or Frank Onyeka in that position. If Chukwueze could play midfield under Eric Shell, for me, I think I think Uche will play that role better than Chukwueze. Uche can win the ball better than Chukwueze.
But he's not going to offer anything going forward like Chukwueze.
No, I'm coming.
Okay, go
But
on.
how many dribbles did Chukwueze complete in this whole China window?
I don't have the stats, but he
So how
completed.
many? How many? In fact, there was a game that he went to go and take the ball from Sai Samuel. He thought he's a prime Messi. He thought he's a prime Messi. He went to the dribble. I was like, I watched it again. I was like, so in my own opinion, I just think that he needs to work hard, and I believe that if he actually works hard, his time will come for Nigeria.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my take.
No, and I agree. I think his time will come. But again, if we're talking about like Chukwueze versus him, I agree that he will win the ball back better than Chukwueze. He will press from the front better than Chukwueze. I agree on that. But when he gets the ball, does he have the same kind of attacking quality that Chukwueze has? I don't know. I cannot say he does right now based on what I've seen. Don't get me wrong. We criticize Chukwueze's performances a lot. We criticize Wicket's performances a lot, but there has not been evidence of it. People see, even okay, he got 2 assists this past weekend. The second assist was a beautiful pass. I give him that. The first assist, they played the ball, he headed it on. Somebody scored a goal from it. It wasn't like a creative outlet. A lot of his assists this season haven't been, oh, wonderful pass, great creativity. It's been like, okay, you win the ball back, you lay it off to somebody does a good job, finishes. And that's the thing that I that's why I always challenge people to watch the game. People start telling me, oh, I act like I'm the only one that watches Nigerian players. Oh, I'm proud. Oh, I'm arrogant. Oh, I'm this, blah, blah, blah. But people need to understand this thing a little bit. It does not mean that I have anything against the player. It does not mean that I dislike the player. I like him. This is a guy that I chat with every once in a while. So when people try to bring up that thing, it makes me laugh. The same Wilfred Ndidi. Talking about, oh, no big team will sign Wilfred Ndidi. If you guys have been watching this show for long enough, if you've been hearing my thoughts and you actually try to remember what I say, I had spoken about Ndidi in the past. I had spoken about Ndidi in the past. And I explained this to people why Ndidi will not play for a top team like Madrid, Man City, etc. I'd explained this in the past. His ability on the ball is not quite there. When you're playing for a team that is a big team, a team that is going to have possession for most of the game, they are really looking for quality on the ball. And Ndidi does not really have that quality on the ball. So I've explained this in the past. It's not as if, oh, now I'm just trying to argue for Ndidi like I've always just been praising him forever. And that's another thing that I always challenge you guys that see, you need to understand that I stick with the same principles when I talk about football players. I stick with the same thought process for the most part. For me, again, if people are telling me, oh, he's coming to compete with Ndidi, if he's coming to compete with Onyeka, which a lot of people were saying in the comments. That's what I disagree with. If you are telling me that you think he should come and play number 10 for the Super Eagles, then maybe it is just how low our standards have gotten. Or we're just so hungry for somebody that we think he's going to come and be, a creative outlet for us. If because like if the argument is, oh, he plays number 10, so he's a midfielder, and maybe that's just how low our standards have gotten. But if you actually watch his games, you think he's going to come and be a number 10 for us. You think even playing in that position is going to offer us what Alex Iwobi offers us if we have possession most of the time? You think he's going to offer us what Fisayo Dili Bashiru offers us? Now, it's not a knock on the player. Different skill sets, different attributes, gifted at different things. But man, there is a reason why he's being played as somebody to press from the front, to win possession back, and to give it to the more creative, more skillful players. There is a reason why that is the job. It is one thing to play for, with all due respect, it is one thing to play for Getafe, is another thing to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You are playing for a team that maybe has 30% of the ball, a team that is just going to sit back and wait for the opportunity, a team that is just going to try to hit teams on the counter when they can. It is very different when you're playing for a team that is supposed to dominate the game. It is very different when you're playing for a team that is supposed to control possession. It is very different when you're playing for a team that is supposed to go out there and win every single match. Your responsibilities are different. Your responsibilities are different, and people need to understand. I see a lot of people that are talking, but very few of them are talking with super chats. So I'm not going to let you guys distract me, especially if you are coming to fight me or argue with me. But again, this is not me saying, oh, he should not get a chance in the national team. That's not me saying that. This is not me saying I do not like him as a football player. No, this is me just saying if we're talking about center midfielders, if we're talking about that position, I cannot say because somebody played there as a midfielder in his semi pro days or as an amateur, then that means that he should now be in the national team of Nigeria playing in that position. That's where I'll rest my case for now. That's
For
where I
for
rest my
me,
case
for
for now.
me, I also think that because the way we see Eric Shell plays now, we see a lot of cutback. That's dangerous areas. And we see some of the players have not been able to finish it off. Maybe it could be a different type of option in that area. So for me, I just think that there is few national teams that will have someone like Christantus Uche that it will not be part of the team. So, in my own opinion, I think that she give him a trial. Because for me, he works hard in the upper part. He can press high, though his muscle mass, have issue with that. Maybe can gas out easily. But for me, I think that he still have a lot of things to actually learn, and in fact, it might be very important for Nigeria as soon as June.
Yeah, I mean, it might be very important. I feel like he definitely deserves an opportunity to see
Mhm.
what he can do. I hope people will give him the grace, because a lot of people, we don't give people grace like that. See people already bashing to Maroko Dare. They say Maroko Dare that they were fighting for to get into the national team. But yes, I wish him all the best. I like him. I like him. He's a nice guy. He's a humble guy. He's hungry. Everybody is hungry at that level. Let's be honest. If you're just playing your first season as a professional and you're not hungry, then there's a problem with you. Um,
Mhm.
but let's see what happens.